Hello, my name is Laura Hess, and I'm looking forward to working with all of you in this mini-mester. So, three things that described me in my adolescence were that I was very sleep deprived and very busy. I was developing a lot of friendships, using those friendships to figure out who I was. Then I was also making big life decisions for the first time. I see a lot of these three things in my field placement now. So one of those that I'm seeing with a lot of my students who are seniors and even some sophomores is working on making those big decisions for the first time. I think students are very stressed about this being the first time that they're making a decision that could impact them for the rest of their lives. And we're working on dealing with the consequences and the benefits of those decisions. So we see that with seniors deciding what colleges to go to, but then also with younger students, with sophomores deciding if they want to go to technical school or not, and if they do, what trade they want to work in at technical school. Another thing I see students struggling with is that balance between work, family, schoolwork, extracurricular activities like sports, friends, balancing all of those different aspects of their lives at such a young age. I think that makes them really exhausted and tired. I have students who are pulling all-nighters, which, it really makes me wonder about bringing in adolescent psychology, about their brain development when they're not getting enough sleep for such a prolonged period of time while their brains are still developing. And then something I've thought about that Pinto mentioned was that teachers should work on integrating different styles of classroom management into their class based on the individual student needs. But one issue I see with that is whether or not it is feasible for a teacher to really use up to 25 different classroom management strategies in one classroom, and how a teacher would balance differentiating their instruction while also differentiating their classroom management. Now, I think all of these things sort of apply into the cultural responsiveness that Pinto talks about. I think cultural responsiveness in classroom management involves drawing on students' unique experiences, which students have unique experiences because of all those different activities they're balancing. Or maybe whether they're involved in sports or student council, they can pull in those experiences in order to enrich the classroom. They can also pull in experiences from their home lives. And cultural responsiveness is also important because how a student learns and how a student thinks changes based on their cultures. And so teachers being able to draw from different cultures will better help all students to learn. And then lastly, I think cultural responsiveness helps teachers improve themselves because they're becoming more aware of the different assumptions that teachers make based on their own cultures, remembering that iceberg, that teachers can become more aware of what's under the iceberg, which can help them professionally in the classroom, but also outside of the classroom in personal lives. And it can help them teach students to learn about that iceberg as well, and learn about what assumptions they make in order to create a more global community where people are thinking about their words and their actions and how people from other cultures would perceive them. I think my current classroom management style falls somewhere between discipline and reward routine focused, leaning more towards reward routine. I use a lot of rewards through the fact that students are given points mostly for completion on all assignments that they do. Students are also rewarded for positive behavior in labs. Often that is said it's because of safety that students, part of their grade is their lab behavior promoting lab safety. Routine is also used in labs that students need to always wear their safety goggles, always tie their hair back, things like that. However, I veer more towards discipline, especially when students have late assignments. Often when students turn in late work, I don't consider why a student might be turning the work in late. I automatically go to the assumptions that they're choosing not to do it. and not going to assumptions that maybe they can't do it because they have to work long hours after school to support their family, or because they don't understand. So instead of making the student come to me to explain why they aren't completing their work, I need to work on going to the student and asking them why they aren't completing their work. Thank you all for listening to my video, and I look forward to working with you for the rest of the semester.